Hello, welcome back to another video. This is part of a short series of what you need to bring to certain auditions. So this audition that I'm talking about today are chorus auditions in an opera house or in a radio choir. So a radio choir is what it sounds like, a choir that sings on the radio and also does lots of live performances. Auditions like this, choruses in an opera house and radio choirs, are the hardest auditions that you can do, because they have the most amount of repertoire. A lot of the repertoire is very hard, and they always, without fail, incorporate sight singing as well, which for a lot of singers is a bit tricky. And typically they are the hardest in another way because it's kind of like a cattle call at the beginning, and then you get cut and cut and cut. So you also could be there for an extremely long day. So buckle up for that. So basically, chorus auditions, you always have to bring one or two arias. Sometimes you can bring whatever you like. Sometimes they say, please pick from this list of 6, and you bring whatever you already know on that list or what you can learn quickly on that list. And so, of course, suits you vocally, very important. But also the great thing about lists of arias is you know what sort of voice type they want. So if they say they're looking for a soprano 2, and the arias that they offer are like Non mi dir, Die teure Halle, and Santuzza, for example, then you know that they're looking for a fuller voiced soprano for that role, as opposed to them asking for Dorabella and maybe Rosina, some higher mezzo arias. So you know that their soprano 2 is not a mezzo, but rather definitely a soprano. So these lists can give you a lot of clues as to whether or not it's actually worth you applying to do this audition. Okay, so you've got your arias. Either they've decided what they are, or you can bring whatever you want, and there'll always be excerpts. So typically there'll be something extremely hard in German, so something from Wagner. There's a popular one from Meistersinger von Nürnberg. There's also quite a popular one by Korngold from Die Tote Stadt, which is very hard. And sometimes they like a bit of Beethoven from the Ninth Symphony as well. And pretty much always you'll find the finale from Die Zauberflöte as well. And so yes, those are always something that you could pretty much always expect to find in a chorus audition for an opera house. And otherwise you'll find a mix of different languages and a mix of modern music, you know, bog standard stuff from Carmen, for example, as well. And you can be asked to prepare between 4 and 12 or 15 excerpts, depending on how big the opera house is, how good the chorus contract is, and stuff like that. If it's just taking over for, say, a colleague who's going on parental leave or something, then typically there'll be less groundwork involved in doing the audition. So that can also be a really good way to sort of get used to that sort of thing. So there will be, more often than not now, there is a video round first, and then they invite, say, 20 singers that they like, and then they hear them. Quite often, though, they might even invite 80 singers from the video round, and then there's 80 singers, and then you wait, and then they call back 20 more, and then you wait, they call back another 5, and then you wait, and then they say, all right, we want to hear your sight reading from these last 3 singers, and then they might offer the contract to one of those singers, or they might not offer a contract at all. And that does happen a lot. Huge auditions with huge numbers of singers, and they take singers all the way through to the final round, and then they don't offer a contract to anyone. That also does happen. So nothing is set in stone, so to speak, because of course in a chorus you're going to be working with a large group of people. It's a full-time job. You're all in each other's pockets all the time. There is a lot of consideration that goes into personality matching as well, and that's really important. So there is also that. But yeah, basically the way it works is you keep going through the rounds. You'll get sometimes a short interview, sometimes a long interview, and then sight reading. And then if they like you, they'll offer you the job. And if not, then if you progress to the higher rounds and you're within the last 20 to 10 singers, you can pretty much definitely rely on getting work from them as a casual chorus singer coming in to fill out when they do really big productions and stuff like that. You can definitely guarantee that for yourself. So it is excellent work, especially if you want to be a freelance soloist, but you want to supplement your freelance life with chorus contracts here and there to keep you singing but still earning money, it's a really good way to do it. So I do recommend that. Radio choirs are pretty much the same deal, except the excerpts are going to be more things from like the Brahms Deutsches Requiem or Mahler 9 or something, if something from more symphonic or oratorio works for choruses as opposed to operatic choruses. And the sight reading is going to be a lot harder because in a radio choir, you actually work much closer to 9 to 5. You don't really work in an opera chorus. You're working often 2 to 6, 2-hour break, and then, the evening call in an opera house. But in a radio choir, it's a lot more family friendly, shall we say, and it's more 9 to 5. So you get there, you turn up at 10 a.m, you have to just sight read something straight away and get going with it. So your musicianship as a musician is a lot more important in this instance, in this sort of audition. So if that's something that really appeals to you, that's definitely something you should try and look for. And also, hot tip, the radio choir jobs, especially in Germany, are the best paying steady jobs for singing in the world at the moment. So your starting salary in an opera chorus, depending on how big the place is you live in, depending on the country. So Switzerland, you earn a lot more because the cost of living is so much higher. In Belgium, it's about 3,000 euros a month. And in Germany, it's about that as well to start. And then it goes up as you gain more experience. And if you cover roles and jump in, you also get a little supplement if you ended up performing the role of Barbarina or something, for example. And but a radio choir job, you're looking more like a starting salary that looks a lot more like 5,000 euros a month, which is a significantly, that's quite a significant amount of money. So that is the best paid and most steady job. So if that is what you are looking for, then you should definitely pursue that and make sure your sight reading is. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.